In the shadows of the fast food empire, a sinister tale of greed, deception, and devastating consequences unfolds. Behind the gleaming facades and catchy slogans, a dark legacy of prioritizing profit over people's health has left an indelible mark on our society. For decades, the industry has peddled unhealthy food options, fueling an epidemic of diet-related illnesses. The consequences are staggering: skyrocketing obesity rates, alarming increases in heart disease and diabetes, and a generation of children facing a lifetime of health problems. As we peel back the layers of deception, a complex web of manipulation and exploitation is revealed. The truth can no longer remain hidden. Join us as we expose the dark underbelly of the fast food industry and reveal the shocking truth about the true cost of convenience. The true cost of convenience has been shrouded in secrecy, but the shocking truth is about to be revealed. As we stroll toward the golden arches, the stomach growls with anticipation. Those crispy golden brown fries have become an integral part of the fast food experience, a craving that's hard to shake off. What is it about McDonald's fries that keeps people coming back for more, we wonder? The crunch of that first bite gives way to a soft, fluffy interior, a culinary delight that's hard to resist. It's as if the taste buds are doing the happy dance, a joyful sensation that's hard to ignore. But has it ever occurred to us what makes McDonald's fries so utterly addictive? The answer, we dare say, lies in the ingredients: potatoes, starch, salt, and fat. A combination that may seem simple, yet is, in fact, a masterclass in culinary engineering, if you will. Corporations like McDonald's cook differently than we do at home, naturally. They use massive amounts of salt, fat, and sugar, ingredients that are not only frightfully cheap, but also irresistibly addictive. A bit of a worrying thought. As we delve deeper into the world of McDonald's fries, some unsettling truths come to light. The fat used in these fries is the worst kind for our health, and the high levels of salt and sugar can lead to heart disease and diabetes. A bit of a worry, if you ask me. Yet, despite these risks, people find themselves going back for more, rather shamefully. It's a vicious cycle that corporations exploit to keep us hooked. But as we sit in the car feeling miserable and sick, something strange happens. The fries are eaten, and suddenly we feel great, a bit of a relief, to be honest. The guilt comes later, but at that moment, all that matters is the next bite, a bit of a sorry state. So what's the secret to McDonald's fries then? Is it the potatoes, the starch, or the fat? Or is it something more sinister? A carefully crafted combination of ingredients designed to keep us coming back for more, no matter the cost? As we sit in the motor, devouring those irresistible fries, we can't shake off the feeling that we're indulging in a rather guilty pleasure. But little did we know, the history of McDonald's fries was about to take a dramatic turn, rather like a spot of tea on a chilly afternoon. It all began in the early 1940s, when McDonald's was merely a quaint roadside drive-thru in San Bernardino, California. The McDonald brothers, Dick and Mac, were serving up fries that were, believe it or not, relatively healthy, considering the era. These early fries were cooked in a mixture of 93% beef tallow and only 7% vegetable oil. A cracking combination, if we do say so ourselves. The result was a crispy golden brown delight that was both finger-licking and drool-emitting, rather like a perfectly cooked Sunday roast. People went wild for these fries, and they quickly became a giant hit, a real smash, if you will. But what made them so special? The answer, dear fellow, lay in the beef tallow, which gave the fries an unmistakable beefy flavor that was simply irresistible, rather like a warm, comforting hug on a cold winter's day. But, as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end, rather like the last biscuit in the tin. Enter Ray Kroc, a businessman with a vision to expand McDonald's across the globe, a bit of an entrepreneurial chap. However, to achieve this ambitious goal, some sacrifices had to be made. And the fries were about to undergo a drastic transformation, rather like a spot of plastic surgery. As we finished our box of fries, we couldn't help but wonder, what secrets lay behind the making of McDonald's fries? And what had driven the company to alter their original recipe, sacrificing flavor and nutrition for the sake of mass production? A bit of a dodgy deal? The more we dug, the more we realized that the truth behind McDonald's fries was far more complex and sinister than we could have ever imagined, rather like uncovering a bit of a dark secret. As we delved deeper into the realm of McDonald's fries, we chanced upon a rather sinister truth. Ray Kroc's vision for a global fast food empire required something more than merely a simple recipe. He needed something that would keep customers coming back for more, something that would render them utterly addicted. And thus, the transformation began. McDonald's French fries started to include a plethora of ingredients, additives, and chemicals. The company jammed more and more food science into the recipe, perfecting a formula that would make their fries the most addictive on the planet. A cracking achievement. We must confess, we were utterly astonished by what we discovered. The ingredient list for McDonald's fries had grown to resemble a laundry list of unpronounceable chemicals and seed oils, a bit of a mouthful. Canola, corn, and soybean oil. A murky blend that seemed to defy the laws of nature, rather like a spot of magic. The answer, we realized, lay in the science, Old Bean. McDonald's had perfected a formula that triggered a response in our brains, releasing feel-good chemicals that made us crave more. As we looked around, we saw the evidence everywhere, rather like a spot of observational research, if you will. People munching on McDonald's fries, their eyes glazed over in a mixture of pleasure and addiction. A bit of a sorry state. We must confess, we felt a shiver run down our spines as we realized the truth, old chap. McDonald's fries weren't just a tasty snack. They were a carefully crafted addiction, designed to keep us coming back for more. Rather like a spot of clever marketing, and we, like millions of others, were willing victims, a bit of a sad state. As we stood there, savoring the taste of those iconic McDonald's fries, we couldn't help but feel a sense of nostalgia wash over us. It all began with a humble spud, we dare say. Only specially selected whole russet potatoes could make the world's most famous fry. A cracking good choice, if we do say so ourselves. But what made these potatoes so dashed special? The answer, we discovered, lay in their appearance, rather like a spot of aesthetics. However, McDonald's wouldn't buy potatoes with even the slightest imperfection. A small brown line or a few spots would render them unfit for the golden arches, a bit of a strict standard. But why were these imperfections such a big deal? Those brown lines and spots were caused by aphids, tiny insects that fed on the potato plants, a bit of a pest if you know what we mean. The only way to eliminate these aphids was with a pesticide called Monitor, a toxic substance so potent that farmers in Idaho wouldn't venture outside into their fields for 5 days after spraying it. A bit of a hazardous business. As we dug deeper, we began to uncover a web of secrets and lies that surrounded the production of McDonald's fries. A bit of a murky business. It was a story of corporate greed, of prioritizing profits over people, and of the devastating consequences that followed. A bit of a sorry tale. Indeed, as we continued to investigate, we discovered that the use of Monitor was merely the tip of the iceberg. The production of McDonald's fries involved a complex network of farmers, suppliers, and manufacturers all working together to create a product that was both cheap and profitable. But at what cost? We spoke to farmers who had been pressured into using unsustainable farming practices, workers who had been exploited in the factories, and consumers who had been misled by clever marketing tactics. And we, like millions of others, had been unwittingly caught up in it all, seduced by the tantalizing taste of those golden fries. A guilty pleasure indeed. But as we learned more about the truth behind McDonald's fries, our guilt turned to outrage. How could a company that promised to bring joy and happiness to its customers be responsible for such harm and exploitation? And we, like millions of others, had been unwittingly caught up in it all, seduced by the tantalizing taste of those golden fries. A bit of a guilty pleasure. Ray Kroc, the fellow behind the multi-mixer, had a vision to transform McDonald's into a national fast food chain. A bit of a bold move, if you ask us. He saw an opportunity to franchise the business and make it a household name, rather like a spot of clever marketing. The McDonald's brothers, Dick and Mac, were hesitant at first, but Kroc's enthusiasm and expertise eventually won them over, a bit of a convincing argument. As Kroc began to expand the business, he realized that consistency was key. A bit of a no-brainer, if you ask us. He noticed that the fries, although delicious, were not always cooked to the same golden brown color. A bit of a dodgy inconsistency, if you will. Some were crispy, while others were soggy, a bit of a sorry state. This inconsistency would not do for a national brand. Customers needed to know that they could walk into any McDonald's, whether in California or New York, and get the same fries. A bit of a reassuring thought. Kroc's obsession introduced a standardized cooking process, where the fries were cooked in a specific temperature of oil for a precise amount of time. A bit of a clever trick, if you ask us. This attention to detail paid off, and soon McDonald's fries became famous for their signature taste and texture. A bit of a culinary masterpiece. But as we dug deeper, we began to uncover a darker side to the McDonald's empire, a bit of a sinister plot. A side that revealed the true cost of consistency and control was a bit of a worrying thought. Ray Kroc enlisted the help of an electrical engineer to invent a device that would ensure the perfect fry every time. A cracking good idea, if we do say so ourselves. Dubbed the potato computer, this innovative machine monitored the temperature of the oil, alerting cooks when it had risen by a precise 3 degrees. A bit of a clever trick. This level of precision guaranteed that every batch of fries was cooked to the same specification. A truly remarkable feat. The russet Burbank potato was a peculiar choice, but its unique characteristics made it the ideal candidate for McDonald's signature straw-like fries. A bit of a clever move, if you ask us. These potatoes were exceptionally long and hard to grow. However, there was a catch. The russet Burbank potatoes often developed unsightly brown spots on the inside, a condition known as net necrosis, a bit of a nasty problem. While harmless to eat, these brown spots were a marketing nightmare, a bit of a PR disaster, if you ask us. They made the fries appear old and stale, rather than fresh and appetizing. As the clever solution to this problem was the development of a specialized peeling process that helped to remove the brown spots, thus further improving the appearance of their fries. This innovative approach not only improved the visual appeal of the fries, but also helped to maintain their signature taste and texture, which was a jolly good thing. As a result, McDonald's was able to establish a consistent brand image across their locations worldwide, which reinforced their reputation for quality and consistency. Don't you agree? Today, the russet Burbank potato remains a key ingredient in McDonald's fries, a testament to the power of innovative problem-solving in the food industry. The only way to achieve this was by spraying toxic pesticides on the potatoes, including a chemical called Monitor. This pesticide was so hazardous that farmers in Idaho refused to venture into their fields for 5 days after spraying it, as Ray Kroc's McDonald's empire expanded across America. Ray decided to dunk the fries in dextrose, a type of powdered sugar derived from good old Monsanto GMO corn. This extra dusting of sugar gave the fries that indescribable crispy shell on the outside and would shoot people's blood sugar through the roof, contributing to weight gain, heart disease, diabetes, acne, low energy, and depression. A bit of a worrying side effect, but that wasn't all. Ray also added a chemical called sodium acid pyrophosphate to the fries. This clever substance kept the fries a sunny yellow even after they'd been frozen. A bit of a clever trick if you ask us. However, sodium acid pyrophosphate would later be proven to cause immune system damage in rats, a rather worrying side effect. As we dug deeper into the world of McDonald's, we began to uncover a disturbing pattern. The pursuit of efficiency and profit had led the company down a dark path, one that prioritized appearance and taste over safety and health. The true cost of those perfect golden fries was beginning to reveal itself, and it was a cost that would leave a lasting impact on our health and the environment. A bit of a worrying thought. But the story doesn't end there. The rise of McDonald's and the fast food industry would have far-reaching consequences. Consequences that would change the face of agriculture, health, and our society as a whole. A bit of a cracking good story. Now, let's talk about the curious case of McDonald's fries. Somewhere along the line, animal fats started to become rather demonized. Fat was the enemy, according to the authority figures at any rate. They claimed it was animal fats, which we'd been consuming for thousands of years, that were causing heart disease. Not all those newfangled chemicals and seed oils that were introduced in the last few decades. A bit of a curious development. At McDonald's, you followed the trend and moved away from frying your fries in beef tallow. But we ask you, did you know that the chief killers of America are cardiovascular disease, disorders, and degeneration of the heart and blood vessels? Instead of frying in mostly beef tallow, which you'd done for decades, you started frying exclusively in a murky blend of canola, corn, and soybean oil. It was the ultimate irony. McDonald's had removed the last healthy ingredient from their fries in the name of health. Studies have shown that when a human sees the color red, it raises blood pressure and heart rate. giving the observer a sense of urgency. This is why sale signs are usually red, isn't it? And the color yellow? Well, it's the most visible color on the spectrum, a bit of a clever trick. When someone looks at yellow, it jumps out at them. As we've discovered, the secret to McDonald's fries lies not just in their taste, but in their cleverly crafted addictive formula, a bit of a cunning ploy. To replace the umami flavor of the beef tallow they'd gotten rid of, McDonald's simply threw in some natural beef flavor, a bit of a misleading term. But as it turns out, this natural flavor had a rather sinister secret, a bit of a shocking revelation. When it hit the hot oil, it produced a high amount of MSG, the flavor enhancer linked to brain damage, obesity, and increased tumor formation. A bit of a deadly combination. It wasn't long before the entire world got hooked. By the mid-2000s, McDonald's was on top of the world with over 30,000 locations worldwide. A bit of a remarkable feat, if you ask us. From Australia to France, Japan to Egypt, and even on a Swedish mountaintop. But with great success comes great demand, and McDonald's now needed more potatoes than ever, a bit of a logistical nightmare. Farmers across America knew this, and they also knew that McDonald's wouldn't accept anything other than their precious russet Burbank potatoes, a bit of a peculiar requirement. So they switched to growing these potatoes, dusting them with heaps of monitor pesticide, a chemical deemed highly hazardous by the WHO and eventually banned in 2009, a bit of a worrying thought. For decades, old chap McDonald's fries have been a staple of the fast food industry, a bit of a worrying tale. Those fries, however, have a rather dark history, a bit of a sorry state. The pesticide-infused potatoes, the corn syrup powder, MSG, sodium acid pyrophosphate, and dimethyl polyoxin, a silicone used in sunscreen and cosmetics, all add up to a rather unhealthy snack. But we suppose that's the price we pay for convenience, a bit of a Faustian bargain. The original McDonald's fry, made with natural potatoes, fried in mostly beef tallow and sprinkled with salt, was a rather different story. A bit of a nostalgic tale. It was incredible, and besides the little bit of vegetable oil, it was healthy. A bit of a surprising revelation. Conclusion. That's because beef tallow is natural. We've been eating it for hundreds of thousands of years, and it's rich in healthy fats, vitamins D, E, and choline. Potatoes, of course, are a great, easy-to-digest carb. It's all the seed oils, pesticides, and additives in modern fast food French fries that make them unhealthy. A bit of a worrying thought. So, what's the solution, Old Bean? Well, it's quite simple. If you still want to enjoy French fries without the terrible consequences, just make them at home. A bit of a clever idea. Use organic potatoes, fry them in beef tallow or duck fat, and you'll have a snack that's not only delicious but also healthy. A bit of a winning combination. And speaking of beef tallow, it's not just good for cooking. It's also incredible to use on your skin. A bit of a surprising revelation. It's naturally rich in skin-loving ingredients like vitamins A, D, E, choline, and fatty acids, without all the horrible chemicals used in mainstream skincare products. A bit of a worrying thought. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the bell icon, like, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to share it with your family and friends, and leave a comment below.